Imagine looking up at the night sky, seeing the glowing moon, and knowing that people are living there. Cities shining faintly in the darkness, lunar highways connecting domes, and communication beacons blinking like stars. For centuries, humans have dreamed about setting foot on the moon. But what if we didn't just visit? What if we stayed? What if humans truly lived on the moon, not as explorers, but as residents? This idea might sound like pure science fiction, but it's closer to reality than most people realize. NASA, SpaceX, and other space agencies are already planning long-term lunar bases that could one day become self-sustaining colonies. The goal isn't just to live there. It's to survive, thrive, and maybe even use the moon as a stepping stone to Mars and beyond. But living on the moon is no vacation. The challenges are extreme, the dangers are real, and the technology needed to make it possible will push human innovation to its limits. So let's explore what life on the moon would actually look like. From breathing, eating, and sleeping, to building a new kind of civilization off Earth. To begin with, the moon is a harsh, unforgiving place. There's no air, no liquid water, and no protection from deadly radiation or meteor strikes. The temperature swings are insane. During lunar day, the surface can reach 117 degrees C, while at night it plunges to 173 degrees C. Without Earth's protective atmosphere, sunlight is brutal, and shadows are absolute darkness. So how could humans possibly survive there? The answer lies underground, or under domes. Lunar habitats would likely be built from a combination of local materials, like regolith, the moon's dusty soil, and inflatable structures shipped from Earth. Scientists are experimenting with 3D printing techniques that can turn lunar dust into solid bricks strong enough to build walls. Inside these bases, life would be tightly controlled. Air would be recycled, water purified endlessly, and waste turned into resources. Every breath, every drop, and every calorie would be managed with precision. Living on the moon would mean constant maintenance and discipline. You couldn't take anything for granted, not even your next lungful of oxygen. And speaking of oxygen, how would we even get it? The moon doesn't have an atmosphere like Earth, but its soil actually contains oxygen trapped in minerals like silicon dioxide and iron oxide. NASA scientists believe we could extract enough oxygen from lunar regolith to support billions of people, at least in theory. The real challenge is energy. Mining, processing, and maintaining life support systems all require enormous power. This is where solar energy becomes essential. The moon has no clouds or atmosphere, meaning sunlight hits directly and powerfully. By placing solar farms near the lunar poles, where sunlight can last for months, colonies could generate a constant energy supply. Some researchers are even exploring nuclear power plants for backup energy, ensuring that life support systems never fail. Still, one small accident, one power outage, could be catastrophic. Every colonist would live with the awareness that life depends entirely on technology. No fresh air, no rain, no forests. Only metal walls between you and the void. It would be humanity's most fragile home. Water, that simple element we take for granted on Earth, would be one of the most precious substances on the moon. Transporting it from Earth would cost millions of dollars per ton, so lunar settlers would need to find it locally. Thankfully, scientists have discovered frozen water in the moon's polar craters, locked in shadow for billions of years. Extracting it won't be easy, but it's possible. Robots could mine the ice, melt it, and purify it for drinking and irrigation. That same water could also be split into hydrogen and oxygen, creating not only breathable air, but rocket fuel. This means lunar water could power not just life, but exploration deeper into space. Imagine a lunar gas station, where spacecraft refuel before heading to Mars or beyond. That's why living on the moon isn't just about survival, it's about strategy. The moon could become humanity's launchpad to the rest of the solar system. But first, settlers must overcome one enormous problem: the moon's weak gravity. Now, let's talk about daily life. What would it feel like to actually live there? Picture waking up in a pressurized dome, looking out at a horizon where the Earth rises like a blue jewel in a black sky. There's no breeze, no sound, only the hum of machines keeping you alive. Outside your window, the landscape is endless gray, carved by craters and shadows. Inside, you'd follow a strict routine, working in laboratories, maintaining systems, growing food in hydroponic farms. Meals would consist mostly of plants grown under artificial light, with recycled water and nutrients. Every bite would represent careful resource management. Showers would be rare, replaced by sponge baths or sonic cleaning to save water. Entertainment, virtual reality would likely play a huge role. Since you can't step outside freely, VR could simulate forests, oceans, or cities, giving colonists a taste of Earth they'd otherwise never feel. Loneliness would be a constant threat, making mental health just as critical as physical survival. Communication with Earth would also be limited, not by distance, but by time and infrastructure. Radio signals take about 1.3 seconds to travel each way between the Moon and Earth. That might sound small, but in conversation, it creates noticeable pauses. Over time, that delay could make communication feel distant and unnatural. Lunar settlers would live on a 29.5-day day-night cycle, meaning 2 weeks of daylight followed by 2 weeks of night. Timekeeping would have to adapt, maybe even developing a lunar standard time. Imagine calendars, festivals, and work schedules all shifting to match a new rhythm of existence. And then there's culture. Over generations, lunar residents might start seeing themselves as different from Earthlings, not just in body, but in identity. Lunarians might evolve their own traditions, slang, and art forms inspired by the silence and solitude of their world. It's possible that someday, Earth and Moon will no longer be just planet and satellite, but two homes with two cultures, united by origin yet separated by destiny. But before that happens, we must overcome perhaps the biggest danger of all: radiation. Without Earth's magnetic field, the Moon is constantly bombarded by cosmic rays and solar particles. Over time, this radiation can damage DNA, increase cancer risk, and harm electronics. The solution: building habitats underground or covering domes with thick layers of regolith. Some scientists suggest creating lava tube bases, vast natural tunnels formed by ancient volcanic activity. These caves could offer natural protection from radiation and meteorites, creating safe spaces for long-term living. Still, the psychological effect of living underground, in confined, artificial spaces, would be immense. No sky, no open air, no stars above your head, just concrete dust, and the knowledge that one mistake could mean death. Life on the Moon would demand not only science, but courage. Despite these dangers, nations are racing toward the Moon again. NASA's Artemis program plans to land humans there this decade, followed by the construction of Artemis Base Camp. China and Russia have announced plans for their own joint lunar stations. Private companies are also joining the race, developing landers, habitats, and even tourism projects. This isn't just a scientific mission, it's a geopolitical one. The Moon is rich in resources like helium-3, a potential fuel for clean nuclear fusion. Whoever controls the Moon might one day control the energy future of humanity. It's no wonder countries are competing, not just to visit, but to stay. In that sense, the Moon could become the 21st century equivalent of the New World, a new frontier filled with opportunity, conflict, and discovery. But unlike the explorers of the past, we'll be carrying Earth's fragile biosphere with us, and the responsibility to protect it. Let's think about how this changes humanity's story. If we live on the Moon, even temporarily, it will redefine what home means. For the first time, we'll have humans born and raised under another sky. Imagine the first lunar child, growing up with 1/6 gravity, seeing Earth as a distant globe instead of a sky. Their sense of belonging, their biology, even their psychology could be different. It could also change how we view ourselves. From the Moon, Earth looks small, a single glowing sphere without borders or divisions. Wars, politics, nations, all invisible from that distance. Living there might remind us that we're all part of one fragile world, spinning together through space. And maybe that's the true purpose of living on the Moon. Not just to expand, but to understand. To see ourselves from the outside, to realize how precious and rare life really is. So, what if humans lived on the Moon? The truth is, we're already taking the first steps toward that future. Within decades, we may see the first permanent lunar base. A new world built by human hands, illuminated by Earthlight. It won't be easy. It won't be safe. But it will be historic. Because living on the Moon isn't just about science. It's about identity. It's about proving that humanity can rise above its limits, turn barren rock into home, and carry the spark of life wherever we go. Someday, children may stand on the lunar surface and look up, not at stars, but at the glowing blue world that once was their ancestors' only home. And when they do, they'll realize something profound. We were never meant to stay in one place. We were meant to explore. And the Moon, silent, ancient, waiting, might just be our first true step into the stars. If you found this journey into the future of lunar life fascinating, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more thought-provoking explorations of humanity's next great frontiers.